Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast, Backseat Positivity. I'm Dawn. I am a doctor, would you believe it? And I cover all things positive and self-improvement. Today we are doing finding positivity around you with these products. I've had such a busy day. This is my second podcast of the day. I'm recording with my headphones in. I don't know how much I love it. Basically, there's a tiny lag, and I keep putting my hair behind my head, but then I don't want you to see my headphones. So there's a tiny lag, which is kind of problematic. But today, I was basically a rock star. I went to a recording studio. I even played on the drums a bit, which I can't actually play the drums. But it was so much fun. I basically felt like a rapper, or like a rock star. I'll sign your autograph if you want me to. £5 though. And basically I helped set up a podcast setup for a studio, and we podcasted at the same time. So we did one of my podcasts, but that will be released next week. That's a super fun one, actually. This one's getting released today. What was the one we did today? Oh, it's called Slow the Fuck Down. And there's 3 of us in it, me and 2 others, obviously. Now, I'm super excited for you to see that one because there's one person that I have had on the podcast before, but then there's a second person who I have not had on the podcast before. So you have to wait until next week to find that out. Oh my God. I've got my YouTube page up, my channel dashboard, which is a bad idea because it's quite distracting. I literally just watched my subscriber count go up, which I've never done before. Not on purpose. It just happened because it was up. But fucking hell, my YouTube channel is doing so well. I'm loving having all of you guys on board. I'm loving all of the listeners to the podcast. I love getting comments from you guys. I love getting just interaction. It's great. So if you guys do want to hear about some other stuff, I've got loads of fucking shit in my brain, so I'm ready to spill all. If you want any stuff that's kind of related to me being a doctor, and I don't know, maybe a bit more scientific stuff, which I have thought about covering, but I thought, who wants to listen to science? Ew. I do. And obviously it's not going to be in-depth science, this neurotransmitter goes to this, and then it goes ACTHYXF. That's literally not scientific fact whatsoever, but you get the point. It will be fairly simplified, but what I'm talking about is, we talk about positive stuff, we could talk about the effect of positivity on the brain or stuff like that, actual physiological effects. Is that interesting? I don't know. Maybe that would just be interesting as a smaller segment. I love having other people on the podcast. If any of you listeners want to come on the podcast, you do not need to be a fully fledged podcaster. I promise you. Friends who are listening to the podcast, you can also come on. You don't have to be fucking great at podcasting. All you have to do is be able to talk to me. And that is not even necessarily a prerequisite. As proven right here, right now, I can talk to myself. Or, I can just talk continuously at a camera on my own. I'm not just talking to myself, I'm talking to you. So if you're stuck for things to say, just say nothing. It can be edited out. It's fine. The power of editing. Anyway, segue. What I was actually talking about, I've just had a real good day. It was a tiring day. Was it hard? Not hard, physically hard. It's just it was time intensive, I would say, but it was super fun. We got loads of social media stuff for it. I filmed a video as well, so that'll be out on my YouTube channel. I feel like I'm just plugging loads of shit here and not actually getting to the point. Right, let's actually get to the point, because that's what you came here for, not to hear me talking about my day. You can go and watch that on my channel, or you could just not be bothered about it whatsoever. I feel sorry for any new listeners who have just listened to me ramble on for 5 minutes about how good my day was, because, look, we're talking about positivity. We need to The thing is with positivity is it's a mindset. You can have the most boring day ever. In fact, for some people, my day might not have been that exciting whatsoever. But for me, it was fun. It was very, very fun. I was actually like a kid in a candy shop. I kept saying it. Kid in a candy shop. I'ma take you to the candy shop. I'ma let you lick my lollipop. Oh, it's really weird listening to myself in my ears. Anyway, right. So let's start off with, these are all kind of products, but you'll get the point as I carry on talking about it. Finding positivity around you with positive or just products or things. Now, there are a few products that I've really wanted to try out. So if you have tried them out and you have, or you want me to try them out, like, please tell me in the comments if this video is on YouTube, if you're just listening on the podcast, so you can go and find it. Or I don't really know where else you'd leave a comment. You can email me, I guess. That's contact@diariesofadoctor.com. But basically, there are a couple that I will do at the end that I've always wanted to try. I think they would be great for certain reasons, but I haven't yet tried them for just reasons that I haven't come across one that I've necessarily wanted or like specifically wanted, or there have been, or there have, just like money constraints basically. Okay, God, I've just thought of another one. I'm going to write that down. Okay. Now, I would say some of these aren't necessarily products, but I'm just going to call them products for the sake of it, okay? Some of it we might deem as content, but you can buy some of this content. Now, firstly, let's talk about positive blogs. Now, I love a positive blog. I actually like getting those podcasts. I love getting those blog posts through my email. I like it when they're like once a week max, maybe twice a week, absolute max, not like every day. I just can't cope with that. So I've got a couple of positive blogs that I want to impart. I want to impart the knowledge of them to you. Number one is the one that I've been following for a while, and it's called The Good Trade. It's basically, do you know what? I think they're quite regular. They're at least once a week, if not more frequently than that. And there are some sections of the weekly the newsletter, that I read more than others. Now, let me just get it up. So there are sections of where is it? Now, the Good Trade newsletter is literally free to sign up to, so why would you not? I don't know how they make any money because, I don't know, maybe like brand deals or something, advertising, but in this most recent one, literally delivered today, it looks like it's daily. Yeah, it is. Daily every weekday. Now, weirdly, it doesn't necessarily bother me, actually. That is pretty crazy. I literally said, like once or twice a week max. But actually, I get this. I did think it was more frequent than that, to be fair. I get this one once every day. I don't know how they crank out so much content, but I fucking love this newsletter. So, it starts off with it's called The Daily Good, basically. I don't even know how I signed up for it, but it's good. It's also a website, so you can go check out the website. I'm not like sponsored or anything. This is actually a newsletter that I follow. So the first one is Read, and it's like a kind of how-to. This one's about how to make oil-free nut milk. So it's kind of like lifestyle, minimalism, mental health, sustainability, that kind of vibe. Then it's got what looks like products. So like, why don't you go look at this product? That's probably how they make their money. Make, so it could be like, this time it's a lavender espresso, which sounds wild. Oh, cozy lavender lattes, they've called it. And usually I read the read section. Usually it's like a blog. So what's one that okay, so for example, Why the Mundane Matters. So that's on the read section. So you can go on to read, And then, yeah, there's just like a nice, I'll show you on the video here. This is the blog post. It's nice, and it's low commitment because you're not paying for it, and it's fairly short. And then there's other stuff like 99 inexpensive self-care ideas for your new year. Let me say some of them in here. Clear off every surface in your home, wipe it down. Consider this practice in clearing away your mental clutter. Reorganize your closet with this goal. I just want to feel joy when I open this door. Okay, change up the layout of your home, even if it's just nudging the couch a little to the left. Disrupt your flow in a positive and proactive way. Clean out your purse or everyday bag. These are just like really cute, small things that aren't like expensive, obviously, and they just declutter your life. Now, I haven't actually read that one, but those are definitely things that I would do. Oh, there's other ones. So that is like, that section was self-care at home, and then it's like self-care hobbies, self-care for your body, self-care for your mind. So there were different sections, but I only read from the top one. Okay, next is a blog that I recently found, which is called A Considered Life. It's very similar to the Good Trade, I would say. I looked at the website, I thought, this is lovely. It was just, again, really minimalist, like kind of those neutral beige toney colours, and it's just about like sustainable, happy living. I do think one of the things I've really been trying to embrace to make my mental health and mental space better over the recent few weeks to months is just getting rid of as much as I can. I do not need as much stuff as I have. I have a lot of hobbies. It's an issue. I am a bit of I just love doing lots of different things. I love variety. It could be seen as a negative thing, but I just love like lots of things going on. I just do. So one thing I've been doing is just getting rid of all my plants. But anyway, I think living a minimalist life, not to the extreme like minimalist level that people do live, you know, where they're like, I have 5 shirts and that is all, and they're all the same colour and style, and then I don't have to choose what to wear. Like, I rarely wake up in the morning and go, oh my god, what a fucking decision, I have to choose what to wear. I get it, you're removing decision fatigue, but it's not a problem that I have. Like, when I'm going out, yes, but a problem that I do have is just having too much stuff. So I like the minimalist kind of blogs that help me just improve my mental health, and they're just super positive and super cute. You might find, those are just 2 blog suggestions that I've found. You can, if you know any others, please let me know. I would love it. I do actually have a blog, but it's more based on doctor stuff, and I actually stopped. I just wanted to focus on YouTube. So that's kind of gone the wayside a bit. Doesn't mean I won't pick it back up, but I realised that I was just spreading myself too thinly. It's an important thing to realise and change. Okay, the next one is podcasts. You are literally listening to a positive podcast right now. Well done. And that sounded really sarcastic. I actually didn't mean it that way, but sorry. There are other positive podcasts out there. Don't get me wrong. You might be like, I like you, Dawn, but I don't love you. I need more. I need more. You're not enough for me, and that's fine. Maybe you don't like me. Maybe I'm too dry. You want more wetness. I can't offer you more wetness. I am a very dry and crispy human. In the humorous sense, I would say. I don't know what wet humour is. But anyway, the point is, I need to stop swearing. I flipping love podcasts. I only listen to like 2 podcasts. I don't want to like give myself more podcasts to listen to. There have been other podcasts. I don't listen to my own, by the way. There have been other podcasts that I have listened to, and I've kind of just like dropped out of them because they've just been a bit much. Like, I want one that's like nice and chill. Like, I'm kind of just like It's not like like, I want one that's chill. I don't want one that like excites me or stresses me out. One in particular that I can think of that I did like the content of, but I just like, there's so much stimulation going on nowadays and I don't need more, was Why Won't You Date Me by somebody called Nicole. I've completely forgotten her last name, I'm sorry. It won't be that hard to find. She's a comedian. It's a very good podcast. It's very funny. It's about her being like, why am I single? Like, at the start, she was like interviewing people who she dated and been like, why won't you date me? Or like her friends, like, that are female and in relationships. So it's just like funny, but it's like, why won't you date me? But she's extremely energetic and loud, and that's not a bad thing. You be you. It was just too much for me, you know. I want something that's like relaxing and I can just put on whilst I'm walking the dogs or driving, and it's just chill. If I want excitement and drama, I know where to look, and it's not hard. Trust me, everyone's buying for your attention. It is easy to find something that is it is harder to find good content that is like fucking mellow, you know, like like, I don't know. So if you find a good podcast, let me know. I do find it, I feel like with podcasts you really have to like want to listen to the person, right? You want to have to like, you have to want, to make a connection with that person. And there's only like literally 2 podcasts that I listen to where I'm like, yeah, I'll listen to you for an hour of my day. So I get it. Like, you have to make a relationship with that person. It's like a weird relationship where they don't know you, but you know them. It's called a parasocial relationship, if you want a technical term for it. But so that's why I find it hard to get into podcasts, because I watch a lot of YouTube. So if there's somebody, I'm just not an influencer person. I don't really like deal with the influencer situation. And I'll tell you the 2 podcasts that I listen to. They're not like happiness, self-improvement ones, because I have my own. I don't need like, the thing is, I don't want to listen to somebody else's podcast that then is like altering mine. I don't want to accidentally, subconsciously take information from theirs, which could definitely happen just without you even realising. But I listen to Emma Chamberlain, Anything Goes. And that's just because I've been watching her YouTube for a little while. But actually, I started watching it because I started watching... she came up on my YouTube, like, recommended. And then I found Colin and Samir podcast, which is also called Creator Support. They've got a new YouTube channel now. Anyway, I was looking at Emma Chamberlain stuff, and then their video on her came up, so then I found them. But it's basically for creators. If you're not a creator, probably not that useful. So anyway, those are my podcasts, if you care. If you didn't, then I'm sorry. But okay, my next one, this is like such a good one. That was one that I wrote down because I was like, what? How did I forget this? I love plants. I think everybody's starting to love plants, aren't they? I'm literally surrounded by plants right now. It's what I'm in the room that I basically call the plant room, and I have arguably maybe even hundreds of plants. Especially in summer, I love looking at them. I love watching them grow. Now, I have got some that are looking a little bit worse for wear, but then I kind of heal them sometimes back to health, and it's just so satisfying to watch. I tell you what is also the most satisfying thing ever, and it gives you a new appreciation for everything you take for granted, and that is growing your own food. It doesn't have to be a lot. Herbs, like a fruit like strawberry, or having like a raspberry bush, or just a thing like a tomato plant, literally just one plant, and you eat that food and you go, wow, how did I ever live without this? Because you buy a packet of strawberries or whatever in the supermarket, you don't even blink twice. You don't even look twice. You're like, yep, okay, whatever. Strawberries, done. But when I remember this time where I actually grew potatoes, and potatoes grow underground, if you didn't know that, and they basically have this like stemmy tree leafy thing that comes out the top, and when it flops over, you dig them up. Oh my god, this was like the most satisfying thing ever. Basically, you put your hands in the mud and you dig around and you just find like a potato and you go, oh my god, it's literally like digging for gold, but you get to eat it. And then you put that in your basket and then you dig again and you find another potato. Maybe this one's smaller, maybe it's bigger. Honestly, it does not get old. Like, I dug up like 2 or 3 bags of potatoes and I was like and then you cook it. And the thing is, I'm not like this, but I know in the past I have been, or, you know, obviously I do accidentally let food go off or throw it away at some point. But some people do throw away food that is gone off. I am that person who eats food even if it's gone off, like actually past the sell-by date, or sometimes even mouldy. I'm like, I don't care. But the appreciation you have for a bit of food when you grew it yourself also tastes way better. And it's probably way more nutritious because it's literally come like a few meters in air miles. It hasn't travelled through the air or across the land, hasn't been coated in preservatives. It's not GMO. I don't know if that makes a difference, but you know, it's not just the taste, it's not just the nutrients, it's you eat that thing and you go, oh, wow, I made this. Imagine that's what it's like to have a baby. You go, wow, I made this. Like, and then you don't eat it, hopefully. But you don't want to throw that away. You want to make sure that you eat it because you grew it yourself. You put time and energy into growing that. And it's the same with a plant, even if you don't eat it. It's like you want it to survive. And when you see a plant or whatever grow from seed especially, or like maybe even a cutting, you're like, or you just watch the like buds produce flowers and then the fruit comes through. Honestly, maybe it's just me and it's definitely not, but maybe you don't care, maybe I care a lot, but it's honestly such a glorious thing to watch. Moving on from the nature segment, staying in the nature segment, I mean. Another thing that I really love doing, and I've recently taken up dog walking as part of my hiatus from medicine. Dog walking has just, I love watching animals running about and being happy. There's like nothing better. I have my own 2 dogs, and whenever I take them out for a walk, they are never not excited. They are always, literally always excited. I don't know how they never get bored. We often go around the same route and they act as if they've just won the lottery every time. Just sometimes I'm like, I want to be a dog for a day. Just to know, not like in a fetish way, but like I want to know what it's like to live in that brain. I guess they've got no worries, they've got no concerns, or, you know, their food is given to them. Their owner, me, treats them nicely. They have a bed, they're in a warm shelter, they get strokes and cuddles and people love them. And just seeing the happiness of something so simple, literally going out for a walk, well, they run, going out for a run. They are like I was earlier, a kid in a candy shop. They're like, this is the best day ever. It's the same when you come home. So just looking at animals, happy animals, like you can't just go down to a farm and look at a battery chicken and be like, I'm vibing this. Yeah. Goals. No. I actually, because of that, I don't want to be like a snob, but I do eat organic free range meat where I can, you know, like sometimes you're at a restaurant and you don't know if it is, but if I have the choice, I will always go for that because I don't know, I've just changed the way I've thought about meat, especially over the last couple of years, and I think a lot of people have, and it just gives you a better conscience. And I also think, like, would I really be able to kill something to eat it? I don't know. But at least if I've eaten something that I know has had a good, happy life, my conscience, and also I care about the animal, like, it's an animal. Anyway, I keep going off topic, but just go to the park, watch some animals. You don't have to own an animal, you don't have to walk an animal, or you could take your friends out or something like that. Spending time with animals. Me and Tom, my boyfriend, love going to animal like farmyards or whatever. It's not like a farmyard, like a, what are they called? Farm shop with animals there. We used to go to one in Exeter called Greendales, but obviously I moved away from Exeter. And they had goats, they had an ostrich, which was super random. They had a pig, horse, donkeys, alpacas, deer. Anyway, I could name all the animals, but there were a lot. They even had wallabies, which is also super random. But we just love going and seeing the animals. They love getting stroked. They're super friendly, especially little goatees. Goatees are super friendly and they're just always happy. So it's great. Dogs in particular, very, very happy. So surround yourself by animals. They've even got those things called like animal cafes, or like insert animal, like dog cafe, cat cafe. Go and find one of those, because I want to, but I already have enough dogs in my life, I would say. Next, this kind of goes from, in fact, I'm going to combine the two because I recognise that we've been going on for a little while. Magazines and newspapers. I love the physicality of having a newspaper or a magazine in my hand. I know that it's maybe not great for the environment, but I get the ones that are like sustainable, happy living. So like they are made more sustainably. And basically I've got a few to share with you. Now, I've made some videos of this on my YouTube channel, some reviews of some of these magazines. So if you do want to like go into more detail, or I could do a podcast if you want, just let me know. Then I will go into more detail. And at the moment, my top ones are The Simple Things. I keep thinking The Simple Life. The Simple Things. Mantra is a good one. Happy Full. And there's also Breathe up there as well. There's a fifth one, but I can't remember off the top of my head, I don't think. I mean, there are other ones, but a lot of these are like, those are the physical ones that we can get in the UK anyway. But you can get, obviously, just online ones. But I want to feel, I want to flick the pages. I want to like feel the paper. And obviously I recycle it, but there's nothing better than getting off your screen and just like physically holding a book or a piece of paper. Like I have a Kindle, but sometimes I want to just read an actual physical piece of paper, not a screen. Newspapers. Now, I haven't actually gotten any of these, but there are some that I've found that I would definitely get. One's called The Happy Newspaper. Easy. And other ways you can find positive news are there's one called it's literally called The Positive News. That's a website. I don't know if they do a specific like newsletter, as in they'll do a newsletter, but I don't know if they have a physical newspaper. And there's also Slow News, which is less like happy news, but it's news that is not fake and is covered properly, rather than just like fast news that's often incorrect because they just want to get a story out there. So it's called Tortoise. It might be like you just type in like Tortoise News or something, and it's basically designed to be like, how can you get involved in the world's affairs but not feel like everything is either fake or just coming out like incomplete or without the story behind it. They just want the headline, Oh, sorry, I've got an itchy leg. Okay, next. I don't know if this is just specific to me, but I've definitely heard other people say it, and that is when you get your camera and you take videos of stuff. Now I'm kind of saying this reluctantly because I don't want people to be like taking videos of everything. Now I think we do take videos of too much. Now what I've loved taking videos of recently is like, I'm not taking like loads of Instagram videos of my like dogs or whatever. I take videos of my vlog, but at the same time I love like getting just shots of the world. So I'll get like a shot of some graffiti, or they're often seen in my montages, but just like simple things. And maybe you don't need to take a video of it. Maybe you just need to look at it and go and just stop and appreciate it. So like Bristol is particularly full of art, like graffiti artwork in particular. Graffiti's got some kind of negative connotations, like that it's unwanted, but in Bristol it's very much embraced. In fact, people like pay to have their shops graffitied essentially, but it's just like spray paint artwork, and I love looking at that. I live in a very artistic city, which is, I guess, well, it is why I live here. I love looking at the artwork, and just I love the some of the architecture and stuff, but just looking at things around you and seeing the beauty in it. Now Tom and other people, I'm sure, have, Tom's like, oh, it's just a like city, like what do you see in it? And I'm like, you need to see it like I do. Not you need to, but like if you stopped and looked, or like maybe you're just not going to the right places, but if you stopped and looked, I know it looks like a bunch of trash, literally, but I can like frame it in my mind so that it looks good. I don't know how. I don't know if it's just because I love where I live. Maybe not this particular spot of Bristol. Like if I had more money, I would live somewhere else. But this is a good compromise. We can't have what we want all the time. Okay? I'm accepting that. This is a happy medium. Close enough, but not like central prices. Okay. I actually have had a couple of mindfulness apps in my life. 1, Headspace, I've got at the moment. 2, Calm. I am still not sure which one I like more. I do like Headspace, and I was finding the Calm stuff a little bit repetitive, which is why I switched over, probably because I had Calm for so long. And then I'm also now, I find a lot of mindfulness stuff quite repetitive. I don't know if it's because I listen to the same stuff, but it probably is. But some of it is that I want to listen to stuff to go to sleep, and often there's only like 2 things, or 3 or 4 or 5, 1 to 5 things that you can listen to that are specifically for sleep. And I'm like, I don't want to listen to a 45-minute sleep story. So Calm is very aesthetically beautiful. Headspace is like a bit more, I'd say, like young and trendy. What I like Calm for is that you can have like rain noises in the background or wave noises in the background. I can't seem to find that function in Headspace. So, but look, I think I've bought like a subscription. So, but equally, I think they are both equally good with the content. That's all I've got to say about those. You don't need a mindfulness app. In fact, I think you could just go onto YouTube, find a YouTube channel that you like listening to and watching. People definitely do it for free. I don't know why I have an app, to be honest. I think because I like the kind of tracking, I like you've done it this many times in a row, even though I've kind of not got a streak. But lastly, this is the product that I don't have, that I really, I like want, and I don't want to say I really want it, because if I really wanted it, I would have bought it. I want it, but I'm like holding out until I have a stable job, because I don't want to keep buying stuff. But also I'm like, do I need it? Who knows? But I really want an essential oil diffuser. One of those ones that like has the little mist, but I kind of want one. They basically, Lumi, the alarm clock company, which has sunrise and sunset, they had one that they brought out that released 1 scent in the morning and then 1 scent in the afternoon. I don't know where it went. I would have bought it if it existed. I think maybe it had some issues or something. I don't know. But they discontinued it. I'm very sad about it. If there was a product like that, I would buy it, because it would be so nice to wake up to, like, I don't know, the fresh smell of peppermint and lemon, and go to bed with the smell of lavender and chamomile. Now I could just spray it on my bed. Oh my god, I've just realised something. So in my podcast that you'll see next week, we discussed something beforehand. John, who's the guy in it, who I've just told you who he is, but anyway, he said beforehand that to wake up in the morning, he wakes up with a cup of cold coffee. It's not in the podcast, so it doesn't really matter, but I said hold that thought because we're going to talk about this in the podcast, and then we didn't. But he said he wakes up he puts a cold cup of coffee next to his bed so that when he wakes up he can drink it. It's kind of like a low effort cold coffee version of like a teas made type thing, but like coffee version. I've never heard of anybody doing that, but maybe that's what I should do, but for essential oils. Like, instead of getting something that just automates it for me, just get a spray bottle and go like, is it that hard, Dawn? No, but it's the novelty of having something spraying. So yeah, if anybody's got any essential oil diffuser products that they want to share with me, that would be great, because I'd love to know. Are they even worth it? Or just recommend one. Say, this is the one I have. Go check it out. And maybe I'll try it and we'll see what it's like. Anyway, I don't think you necessarily need to pay, by the way, for products to improve your life. A lot of these things that I've talked about are free. Maybe I shouldn't call it products, but I don't know what else to call it. Find positivity around you with these things. I don't know. Maybe I'll come up with a better title. But a lot of these things are cheap or free or cheap. I don't know why I was saying that. But yeah, so being positive doesn't have to be expensive, or you don't have to buy loads of stuff. Anyway, thanks so much for listening or watching, guys. If you liked it, obviously give it a like. If you want to hear more, obviously subscribe. Like, that's what you would do, isn't it? Or follow, or like share it with your friends. Say, I listened to this really cool doctor. Her name's Dawn. She just loves chatting shit, and I love listening to her. If that's you, in your head, if you're saying that, then do all those things that I said. If you want, no one's forcing you, but that's my prescribed recommendation. Anyway, see you next week. I upload on Mondays, and it's currently Friday. I'm sorry. It should be Thursday, but we'll say Thursday. But we'll say Friday this week. Sorry. Twice a week. Usually Mondays and Thursdays. Yesterday, okay, let me tell you what happened very quickly. Basically, I fell asleep at 6 p.m. It was wild. I don't know what happened. I was super tired. I've been looking after puppies, and they keep you awake, and they are a lot of work. So I've been very tired. I slept from 6 p.m. until, I did wake up a couple of times, but until like 7:30 in the morning. So yeah, I didn't even publish a video. I was gone. So I am very sorry for that. Anyway, I'll see you on Monday.